Anyone who used a computer between 1985 to 2010, what's the one game you still think about today? OG Warcraft. One of the first video games I ever played. Yes, Lord. Red Alert, Command and Conquer. Unreal Tournament 2004. Would have LAN parties just for it. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Roller Coaster Tycoon. Missed, I still have dreams about it. The Sims 1 or 2. Specifically, deleting the pool ladder and creating chaos. Counter-Strike, when it was a Half-Life mod. Doom, Fallout, MechWarrior 2, Ski Free, Chex Quest, Star Wars TIE Fighter / X-Wing, and Sonic CD are all my earliest PC gaming memories. Oregon Trail and Number Munches. Or Space Cadet Pinball. I grew up using the PC in the 2000s, my dad's old Windows Me computer that took a lifetime to start up. But for some reason one game that always sticks with me is Motocross Madness. I used to love crashing up the cliff just to get launched across the map when trying to cross the level boundary. I just miss shareware had many times more demos that was still like 1/3 of the game than actual owned games. Was always fun if me or a friend got some discs with new games on them. Ultima 1, 2, 3, and my absolute fave 4. I made a joke about Frogger crossing a busy street recently. My wife, who's 3 years younger, got the joke. I also played a lot of Oregon Trail circa 1989. Can't forget that one. 25 years is a big span, but 85 to 90s was phenomenal in the early days with Sierra, King's Quest, Space Quest, Police Quest and Lisa Suit Larry. Then you had Bard's Tale, Wing Commander, the X-Wing / TIE series, Populous, Lemmings, and then Doom and Wolfenstein came along. I mean just one. That is really hard, but I still think of EverQuest a lot. Heroes of Might and Magic. Black and White / Black and White 2. SimCity 4 spends so much of my childhood building cities and on Simtropolis modding my game. Still runs on my PC and mods are still being created / updated. The UI is definitely a dinosaur, though, and I find myself unable to play it for longer periods. Wing Commander. And a text-based Dracula adventure, don't remember the name. Star Control 2. Total Annihilation. Police Quest by Sierra. I remember I got stuck in one part and never actually finished the game. It still kinda bothers me now. Sid Meier's Civilization, and Railroad Tycoon. Minesweeper and Solitaire. That Microsoft Space Pinball game. I played the shit out of that back in the day. It and Minesweeper are probably the reason I play video games today as an adult. King's Quest was special for the family, discovery of PC games. Then on to the Wastelands and Ultima RPGs also. The original X-Wing. Unsurpassed, MO. Nothing beats the first time playing Morrowind circa 2002. TIE Fighter is probably my favorite game ever. Wasteland and Ultima, played on a compact portable. Putt Putt Saves the Circus. Neopets and Math Circus. The original EverQuest. I had a bunch of real-life friends that played it and we had so much fun in that game. Everything was new and exciting and fucking up had real consequences. I don't miss the consequences themselves, but I do miss knowing they were out there, just waiting for you to screw up, or to lag out. Leisure Suit Larry. I didn't understand it then and I can't explain it now. Unreal Tournament, Doom 2, and Operation Flashpoint. Dungeon Keeper. Too bad the IP is in EA's hands, cause I'd love a sequel. Unreal Tournament, Command and Conquer, Red Alert, One Must Fall, Baldur's Gate, Nox, Septerra Core. Honestly, that was peak gaming for me. Nothing has really hit that spot for me since the mid-2000s. Ski Free, especially the Yeti that comes out to attack you. Populous. One of the first games you played a god. Nothing like volcanoes on your opponent and then sending a knight to destroy their economy. Wizardry. Plotting the levels on graph paper. Thompson, 80s, Super Tennis / Vampire / Lode Runner MSX, 80s Buck Rogers / Athletic Land Amiga, 80s to 90s Lemmings / Kickoff / Supercars / PC, 90-foot S00 Siri to Quake / Prince of Persia. You Don't Know Jack, original. I think about Oregon Trail the most just because we played it the most. I'm going to stick with games that aren't still played today, like WoW or CS. Can't just be one game, too many bangers, / Soldier of Fortune / the Zork games like Return to Zork / Tribes / Unreal Tournament. Dungeon Keeper, one of my favorite games ever. It was so novel at the time. Heroes of Might and Magic, Diablo. Police Quest and Space Quest, AGI versions. Myst, hands down. Among many of its firsts, it was the first game that sold a realistic 3D rendered world you easily lost yourself in. Paperboy. I could never make it far. Monster Truck Madness 1 and 2. It was playable in Windows 10, no chance in 1.1. My brothers and me played this for days. Digger and Road Rash. RuneScape was badass back in the day. World Cup 98 Belgium had this bald CB, he was a menace. Lords of the Realms 3. I still play Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 plus TFT. I also play a lot of StarCraft, BW these days, and honestly, lots of pre-2000 classics. I hate to see how Blizzard destroyed its soul for money. The original founders left early enough, I suppose. They didn't want to look at the fucking shitshow it has become anymore. That I can't stop thinking about what would happen if War 4 or SC3 ever came to be. They would be corrupted as hell by presentism, and all kinds of predatory business models, for sure. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I still play them. King's Quest V. My parents bought it for me for Christmas, but they accidentally bought the 3.5-inch floppy disks when all we had were 5.25 drives. I was so excited for the game that I read the manual over and over, fully absorbing the game's lore, and imagined how epic the game was going to be. Months later, when my parents finally fixed the problem by buying a new computer, the actual game completely blew my mind that I still play through every few years and remember what it felt like to play it the first time. I eventually played through every game in the series except 8, but 6 is still my favorite. Dune 2, https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Dune_2, the game that established the RTS format. No game I played from 1980 up to Dune 2 really pops up in my mind as often. But there were many games. The contender would be Populous, https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/populous_video_game. After Dune 2, lots of games. Spy vs. Spy has been in my head for so long. Battle for Middle-earth 2. Heroes Quest 1, 3 and 4. 2 sucked. 1998, Fallout 2, Half-Life, Deus Ex, Age of Empires, Baldur's Gate. All still kinda in the back of my mind. Then in 2005, Rose Online, original good version. Still thinking of this game as part of my real memories, lol.